This episode of the show is brought to you by Rover. Rover is an amazing service that links dog owners with dog sitters and walkers in their area. All you do is create a profile and you can start getting bookings right away. Just go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover and sign up today. Welcome back to the Junior Moneymakers Podcast, the show that's all about helping you teach your kids to become young entrepreneurs. Okay, everyone, it has been almost 2 weeks since I posted a show, and for that, I'm really sorry. There's this really bad flu that's going around the United States. I don't know if you've heard, but I think my family and I might have got it. So I was down for the count for at least 2 days, and then as soon as I got better, my wife went down for the count for another 2 days. So we've been pretty lucky so far in that our youngest two girls haven't gotten the sickness yet, but we're just kind of holding on and hoping for the best at this point. So we really appreciate your thoughts and especially your prayers as we go through this and get it cleaned out of our house. We are starting to feel a little bit better, so it's time for me to start putting out episodes again. On today's episode, I'm going to cover how you can start your own vending machine business. Believe it or not, I am super excited by this idea, and it's something that I've thought about doing by myself for a really long time. And I know that next year, when we're back in the United States, I want to do this idea with my kids almost right away. It's inspired by a bunch of kids that are out there making money doing this business right now, and I know that you and your family can pick it up pretty easily and be generating some real revenue in almost no time. So let's stop talking about it and jump right in. Okay, so everybody's seen a vending machine before. I'm not talking about the kinds that put out soda cans. I'm talking about the kind that have gumballs and small toys inside. Now, this is a really complicated business model, and just because you've seen one doesn't mean... You know what? If you've ever seen a vending machine, I bet you know exactly how this business works. It's not very complicated. In fact, it might be the least complicated business idea I've ever mentioned on the show. You decide on a product, buy a machine, find a location, plop it down, fill it up, and then come back later to collect the profits. If that sounds easy, maybe too easy, honestly, it really isn't. It's a very simple business idea that just about anyone can do. If you don't believe me, the National Automatic Merchandising Association put out a report that said 18% of vending machine operators make between $1 million and $5 million every single year. Those numbers are staggering for a business model that is so simple. Now, not only does this business model work, but you have to understand that it has low startup costs, even for a kid business. If you're starting with $0 and you put your mind to it, you can easily have your first vending machine going by this summer. So, if starting a vending machine business is easy, and almost 20% of vending machine business owners make millions of dollars per year, why isn't everyone doing this? Honestly, it's probably because they've never listened to this podcast before. So seriously, let's get started. Okay, so now you have a basic idea of what a vending machine business looks like. Let me give you a few things to think about before you get started. First, in your town, you're going to need to find out if you need a business license. Then you're going to have to find out if you need a vendor's license. Some counties and states view vendor's licenses a little bit differently, and some of them are going to require you to have one, even for something simple like a gumball machine. If you make a couple of quick calls to your Chamber of Commerce, you should be able to sort this out in about 15 minutes. After you've got that sorted, you're going to need to figure out where you're going to get your startup costs. A quick search online shows me that you can get some vending machines for about $150, and that's the kind that have 3 chambers, so you can sell 3 different products, which is pretty cool. Going to Costco or some other big box store, you can get your first weeks of inventory for really, really cheap. Gumballs are like 3 to 5 cents a piece, and if you're selling them for 25 cents a piece, you can imagine the markup. McDonald's would love to be that lucky. You can get a bag of Skittles or M&Ms at 5 pounds for probably about $5. And you can even get a bag of bouncy balls for $17 online on a place like eBay. So if you add all those things up, in order to start your business, honestly, it's going to cost you $200 or less, which might seem like a lot to you at this age, but you can get $200 pretty easily. You should make your money back as well in about a month or two, so keep that in mind. And after that, it's just 100% profit. Making $200 in just a few months really shouldn't be that hard for you. You can shovel snow, mow lawns, or even babysit, and you'll easily net the money you need before this summer. I have faith in you, but if you can't think of any ideas, just send me an email at mark@juniormoneymakers.com and I'll help you figure out some ideas to get that startup cash. Okay, so now you have an idea of what it's going to cost to get started. Now let's get down to business. Okay, once you've gone online and picked out a vending machine and you've bought your supplies, it's time to get down to business. Your first step is going to be location scouting. You're going to want to look around your town for places that are safe and have a lot of foot traffic, especially places that parents often go with their kids. Think of places like strip malls and doctor's offices. Those are really good choices. Big all-in-one stores like Walmart, Kmart, etc. probably aren't. Generally, you want to have stores that have local business owners, not big corporations. And the reason is you want to be able to go in and talk right to the boss. Once you have some locations in mind, it's time to make a few stop-ins. With your parents in tow, approach owners of stores in your area and start negotiations. The idea here is to get their permission to put vending machines on their property. The benefits to the owner are obvious. Vending machines give business owners a little bit of extra income, and they don't really have to do any of the work. You can cut them in on some of the profits or offer to give some of your profits to charity. Something like 10 cents on the dollar is pretty fair, though they may want to negotiate a different rate. It's really highly dependent on the business owner and the location. Now, once you come to an agreement, you are off to the races. After you settle on the location, simply set up your machine and make sure that you keep it well stocked. You want to keep it at least 3/4 full to start and usually come back once a week or so. You can collect the money then, restock, and pay the owner. Honestly, there's not much more to this business idea than that. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsor, then I'm going to give you 3 tips to get this business started. One of the number one questions I get asked is, how do I start my kid's first business? One of the easiest ways is to use a service like Rover. Rover is a website that links dog owners with dog sitters and walkers in their area. Not only does Rover have an awesome rating service that lets owners know how people treat pets, but they also provide walkers and sitters with free liability insurance that covers everyone in case of any accidents. Dog walkers and sitters make way more money than you would think, but you don't have to take my word for it. Go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover and check it out for yourself. As a bonus, if you use my affiliate link and send me the link to your profile, I'll check it out and give you any feedback that can help you attract more customers. Just go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover. Okay, here's a few tips to get you off on the right foot. Tip 1. When negotiating with new business owners, tell them you're a student working on a school project. If you're a homeschooler, this is absolutely the truth, and if you're in public school, ask your math teacher or economics teacher if you could do this for extra credit. Once you have that knocked out, then what you're saying will be true. When you go in to talk to owners, don't start out by asking them if you can put a vending machine in front of their store. Start by telling them that you're starting a vending machine business and that you had some questions for them about the idea. Ask them why they chose the location that they chose for their business, why they got into their business, and if they have any tips for you on getting started. After you have established some rapport and made them feel important by asking them real questions that you're actually interested in, they're going to be much more likely to help you. Tip 2. Learn to service your own machines. While new machines should last you for years, there is always a chance that something could go wrong. You want to look up your model in advance on sites like YouTube and find out what common problems are and how you might go about fixing them. A broken machine can knock you out. It'll damage your reputation and it could discourage repeat business. So we want to keep our machines in tip-top shape and know how to fix them if something goes wrong. Tip 3. I need you to reinvest your earnings. In no time, you're going to be making quite a bit of money at this business and you need to resist the urge to spend it, at least at first. Realize that you can save that money, invest in a second, third, and even fourth machine, and in no time, you're going to be making serious bank. If you're pulling in $100 per machine every single month, after expenses, by 6 months, you should be able to buy a second machine. From there, growth really takes off. By the time that you get to 8 months, you should be able to buy a new machine every single month. That means at 12 months, you're going to be sitting on 6 vending machines. That'll net you $975 every single month, and that's when things really get interesting. By the 12th month, if you spent all your earnings on new machines, you're going to be making $1,100 per month. That's a lot of money for any side hustle, but especially for a kid. This quickly turns from a small business into a business you can use to pay for your first car or even pay your way through college. To me, this is awesome. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So let's wrap this one up. Having a small vending machine business is an idea that I highly recommend you try to take on. Don't be intimidated by the $200 startup cost. The best income is passive income. And if you want to have passive income, that's going to take an investment. But making money while you sleep or while you're away is an amazing way to rake in cash. You just need to put in a little bit of work first. So email me if you want some ideas on how to get started so you can save up that $200. Now, I want to apologize again for taking a week off. My family and I have been under the weather and we're still not feeling great. Honestly, I feel like we get sick all the time, but it's mostly because I teach a kids jiu-jitsu class and we're in really close proximity to kids all the time. So this week, I should be back to my regular schedule, which makes me really excited. If you like this episode, or any of my episodes for that matter, can you jump over to juniormoneymakers.com/review and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts? It really helps the show when you leave a review. Not only does it help people find the show, but it also helps me attract and find the right sponsors. So thank you again for listening. I hope that you have a great week. Until I see you Wednesday, dream big and change the world. Have you ever tried to eat a clock? It is very time consuming, especially when you go back for seconds.